Hey, it's me, Matthew, and I'm here to talk about Patreon. A lot of people hear me talking about it all the time. And if you're watching this, you've become a patron or you're curious about Patreon and how it works. You sign up for different tiers, and I set up as $1 music supporter, $5 official fan, $10 big fan, and then $20 super fan. And all those different pledges are different dollar amounts, and people can adjust more, and they can adjust their tiers as they want to month by month depending on what they want to do with it. So on Patreon, if you're a patron of Matthew Rivera, that's me, and you sign up, you're allowed to message me personally, and you can scroll. This is on my computer on Google Chrome. So I find that's the best experience. Things are more set up that way. So while you're looking at my page, you can go to media type and you can filter it by video, and you can do it by tier if you want to. Um, and then you can pick all the different months that I've worked on. So let's say I want to see what was I doing last year in May, and it'll refresh. And as you scroll down, you can see I had my Lost Ukulele song here. There's a piano improvisation from April, but I posted it on May. I mean, I've come a long way since I've started. This is a year ago. Phone recording. Really? Oh, that was before I started doing daily pianos. That's right. Uh, I didn't have this set up the way I have it now. Let's go more recently. Let's go audio. Let's do audio. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I thought I was doing more. I should have. So, yeah, I post a lot of stuff, and I was still kind of all over the place. But you can listen to, and it's just playing right through the web browser. And if you like it, there's this little three hamburger here, and you can hit download, and it'll download the MP3, and you can do with it as you like. And you can, that's my other side. If you have the app, you can listen through the app, the posts, and it'll have like a cloud with an arrow down. And when you click that button, when you're listening to it, it'll ask you which folder you want to download to, and you can go to like your music, your downloads, your ringtones. I forget what the other one is, but I always just put it on my phone because where I work, I get no service, so I have to download MP3s to listen to music at work. And I like listening to my piano while I do my work. And I just try my best to just record, and do music, because a few years ago I had that car accident. I almost lost all my ability, and now I've been taking my recovery and my physical therapies, and minding my P's and Q's very seriously. And now I can play for like a good hour plus on a good day. Um, and so I have to make sure that every moment that I'm making music, I'm recording. So that way I have audio if something good happens that I can process. And now, after 2.5 years on Patreon, I launched November of 2020, right when I got my abilities back. And I was logging my recovery from my chiropractor, like how many minutes of piano were you able to play, until like I was able to play like 5-10 minutes. So I was kind of like going back to the beginning, where it's like, all right, I can only play for 10 minutes, so I have to make the most of that 10 minutes. And I would just improvise and just make pretty sounds as much as I can. And that became my In the Moment One album. Those are the recovery recordings from November and December. So we can go to when I first started in November. I only had a few things. I was recording stuff throughout November, and started posting them. Yeah, that's 2022. We want 2020. Sorry. Where? November of 2020. this is how it all started. The song that I wrote for my wife, I was able to play that. Watermark piano cover, an old original. These were painful recordings. And I was doing that on a portable Tascam and just logging and, just saying I was able to play for this many minutes and, just, but day by day, baby steps. And Patreon was kind of like my recovery diary. And I've been doing this my whole life. I just never recorded myself noodling and making my music. So thanks to Patreon and supporters, I'm driven, It's just like every day I just want to make sure I'm posting music so everybody who supports me is getting their money's worth. And, I live, eat, and breathe music, but I work a Monday through Friday job to pay the bills and I invest all my money into my music. Everybody has their thing, that they spend their money on. For me, it's music. And now I assembled a studio with all the stuff that I've amassed over my lifetime, using old microphones, but now I can plug them into a brand new computer. And now every time I sit down at the piano, I can just open up my Adobe Audition, wait for it to load up, and I just hit Control Shift N for a new file, hit enter, and now I have my microphones that I turned on. Oh wait, they're off. Now they're on. So now, you know, technology is so crazy how much space you have that you can record and record and record. You're not limited to a ribbon tape. So you might as well just record every sit down, because if it's not a good session, you can always delete it or you can just archive it. But it's better to record and have stuff that you can't work with than to do something incredible and be like, I wish I was recording that. So I've gotten into the habit now of just taking that moment, because I'm an ENFP and I'm at the whims of my inspiration. So I will just, whatever it is I'm doing, I'll just get over like the piano and just like, start playing. And just take a moment before you start noodling, open up Adobe Audition and start recording anything that you sit down and play. I don't always do it, but ever since I have been, I can just process audio on my time after work and on weekends, and I can schedule. Let's see, if I go to create, I'll go to audio, and I actually have this folder of limbo. And these are like things that I have. Let me see. That's everything I did for me. So limbo is stuff that I recorded, I processed, but I was hesitant to drop, and I just never dropped it, but it's there. So that way, if ever I'm just like, I don't have anything, I can go into limbo and see what I've got. So I'll just be like, let's see, oh gosh, just for funsies, Send in the Clowns. Yes, I haven't touched that song in a while, and it'll give me. So I upload the MP3 that I processed, and I'll just put it in. Send in the Clowns. Cover old recording from Limbo. And now I'll just play that. And when that plays, I can go into my pictures and I can add some, let's see, do I have some track art? My doggy's a clown. He'll be the clown. Let's keep up. I am live now. Walking through Patreon, and it works on my page. And in the Clowns was in limbo. Enjoy it now. Better late than never. Oh man, what happened to my fingers? Clouds was in limbo. Enjoy it now. Better late than never. Oh goodness. Um, oh no. I'm gonna have to retype that. Old recording coming. I'm really critical of myself, and so when I listen to these, like I can hear fudges and things that are just like, oh, that's bad. And I used to be like, if I have three erg moments on it, most people won't notice. But if I count like four or five or more, I'm like, I don't know if I should post that and throw it into limbo. And I'm just like, I am my own worst critic, but this is a pretty good recording. Oh my gosh. And when was this done? This was in Send in the Clowns. Wow, this is July of 2021. I need to go back to this song. It's a pretty song. Who is that? Joni Mitchell? Or Judy Collins? Judy Collins. There's Dirk. Oh gosh. Classic. Why did I not post this? This was a good recording. Well, so I can go here, all right, and I can say who can see this post. And usually when it's a cover song, it'll be a public post. If it's an improv or an original composition, then I'll, give it to just my official fans and my music supporters for the $1. I give them access to the YouTube uploads of the songs, and every now and then I try and slush them with a few MP3s a month. But if you're an official fan, big fan, super fan, you get all the musics. And I've been trying to think of more things I can do for my big fans and super fans as I'm starting to gain more big fans and super fans. I've tried doing tutorials in the past, but I forget that I don't just have to post music. I can post my arts, what my goings on are, things that are inspiring me, blog about things, and share more of the inner workings that goes into Matthew Rivera music. And I feel more dedicated and driven now that I've earned even more support. It's so crazy how generous people are, and I keep trying to tell all my creative friends who are musicians, artists, what have you, that you really should just start a Patreon page. It's not about like your product and being good. It's you, and you're finding people who appreciate you and what you do, and they're investing in you to keep doing what you do. So you just let them into what it is you're doing. And that's what I've been doing on Patreon. I just dote on all the people who actually value me and support me by just recording everything that I do and processing it and say, hey, here's what I worked on today. So I'm going to make this one a public one because it's a cover song. Yeah. So publish now. There we go. So now, if you're a patron, you can actually download it. There it is. So easy peasy, it's like, well, you have to go through all the audio processing stuff. So like I want to go through to make your audio look like this and sound like this. Take some work. I will get into that another day and show my big fans and super fans more of what I have learned throughout my past few months of playing around with Adobe Audition and processing audio. But I need to get to bed. I have to work in the morning. What am I doing?